Hi, I'm Attorney Ben Schwartz. Today I want to talk about something that has to do with motorcycle accidents and bicycle accidents. The topic I want to talk about is called free crumple zones. And I want to tell you, sort of as by way of background, I handle a lot of personal injury cases. And when I get motorcycle accident cases, they tend to be some of the worst situations I've seen. And I try and put out information, on our blog, on Facebook, out on social media that people can learn from and that people can use to be more safe. And so this is one of my best tips for motorcycle riders. If you know someone who is a motorcycle rider or a bicyclist, please, tag them on Facebook, share this with them, because this is information that I feel could really save someone's life. Basically, the concept is free crumple zones. When you're riding in a car, you stop at a red light, someone isn't paying attention and rear ends you, you are surrounded by crumple zones. All cars have crumple zones, and the crumple zone is designed to take the impact, to minimize the impact on your body sitting inside that car. The problem is when you're in a motorcycle or sitting on a bike, you don't have any crumple zone around you. You are the crumple zone. And so if someone rear ends you and hits you, you could die, you could be catastrophically injured. The concept is that if you're out on a motorcycle, if you're out on a bicycle, you should be able to anticipate when you're stopping at a red light or you're stopping at a stop sign that there are other motorists on the road who might not be paying attention. And so what you can do is look around and see if there are crumple zones that you could use. For example, perhaps there's another vehicle stopped at your red light. Perhaps you could use that vehicle as a barrier. If it's already stopped, use it as a barrier between you and oncoming traffic that might not stop in time and that might rear end you. I want to show you a diagram and go through a couple scenarios about what I'm talking about. The first scenario is in the bottom left-hand corner of the diagram. We've got two lanes going in the same direction and a red light, and there's a car stopped at the red light, leaving plenty of space between the front of the car and the stop bar at the intersection. If you're riding a motorcycle, you certainly could pull up, go around that vehicle, and stop in front of it. By doing that, you're creating a situation where if another car comes along and is going to rear end it, that car will get rear-ended and you will use the crumple zone on that car to keep yourself safe. If you had stopped behind that car and another car came and rear-ended you, you would be taking the force of impact. Another scenario is in the upper right-hand corner. Two vehicles stopped going in the same direction. They're stopped at the red light at this intersection. If you're on a motorcycle, instead of stopping behind a car, you could stop between the cars. That way, if someone comes along and is going to rear end you, they're not actually going to strike you, they're going to strike that car, and you hopefully will be safe. So these are just some examples of what I'm talking about using free crumple zones, about using the crumple zones of other vehicles on the roadway. Basically, it's one of these things where there are as many free crumple zones out there as your imagination can come up with, but it's something that I think is worth thinking about. It's an idea that I think is worth keeping in mind when you're out on a motorcycle, because this type of thing might be something that saves a life. And if it just saves one life, I think that it's worth thinking about, talking about, and sharing with other people. My name's Ben Schwartz. I'm an attorney. I handle personal injury cases. I handle motorcycle accident cases and other motor vehicle accident cases. And if you'd like to comment on this, please go on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/SchwartzandSchwartz. If you'd like to send me an email, my email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com.